Good Saturday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609, alive and in color from Fort Clark Springs, Texas, near Del Rio, Texas, near the border of Texas and New Mexico. And today is the first day of the rest of your life. Make it a good one. It's the day after yesterday, day before tomorrow, right now. So enjoy it and do something that you want to do, because if you don't start, you'll never get finished. Anyway, I was watching a video yesterday live, one of those live streams from Venice Beach, California, where the whole world lives apparently. And I saw signs from vendors for stuff for sale that I thought was interesting, because I haven't seen any of them here at Fort Clark Springs or Bracketville, Texas. Toe rings. T-O-E, toe rings. I haven't seen that around here. Also, anklets, A-N-K-L-E-T-S, anklets. Haven't seen those around here either. They may have them. And also tattoos. Don't see that. But anyway, just thought I'd let you know that those things are available in Venice Beach, California. If you have an interest, you can go get them. Go get them. Anyway, what else? Hey, Google, what's the temperature?
In Bracketville, it's currently 38 degrees.
With a high of 67 and no rain. Hey, Google, what's the temperature in Llano, Texas?
In Llano, it's currently 25 degrees.
Yeah, that's 13 degrees colder than it is here. I was going to build a home in Llano, Texas. I'm glad I didn't. I like this much better. Anyway, she's restarting now. She's putting on her makeup. So we'll let her do her thing, and then we'll get a joke when she comes back on. Anyway, moving along to Imey88. Good Saturday morning, Rusty. Awesome Beer 30. Enjoyed the stories. Cheers and aloha. Yeah, I know they're just what they are. They're not much. In fact, for probably the next Beer 30 and then on forward, I'll forget the past and move on to the future or now. You know what I mean? Because, the past is dead. It's like dead leaves. It's fertilizer for the future, but it's not the future. It's not now. It's yesterday. And yesterday is gone. So be that as it may, thank you, Imey88. We'll move along here to Blake the Great One. Catchy name. This is on the Tiny Home Depot. It says, I've been saying this for about 10 years when I got out of the military. It was appealing to a 22-year-old with a dog with an urge to own a home. Yeah, it is. It's appealing to anybody if they got a place to put it. Anyway, person's name is Old Vine Zen. Beer 30. Having grown up in the 50s and 60s, I could relate to your stories, Rusty. My first car left a plume of blue smoke behind me wherever I went. We were all young and naive back then. Enjoyed your reminiscing. More stories, Rusty. Well, we'll see. If I think of something, I'll do it. Hey, Google, tell us a joke.
What do you call a belt made of watches? A waste of time.
I think that's the same one she told us yesterday. Tell me an adult joke. Okay.
Here's some
What does God dang, that's the same joke we've had before. Corny. Yeah, thank you, Old Vine Zen. This is Blades, says, I had an Arco strawberry, claiming it was loaded with them. No, it's just strawberry flavored is all it is. I found 5 very small pits of strawberry in it, 90 calories. Whatever, I like Oikos, and you like whatever you like. Thank you, Blades. Sofa's in town. I sent your cataract video to a friend who is scheduled for operation to ease his fear. I'm glad you're doing so much better. Yeah, it's Monday will be 2 weeks, and I haven't had any issues. And yeah, visions, I can read with this eye and drive with this one. So I'm fine. Dandy5, hey Rusty, what was the reason you originally decided to start a YouTube channel? Has having a channel turned out like you expected? The reason I did it was stupid, actually. I had a Kodak camera and I just wanted to see if I could do a YouTube video. And I did it. I uploaded it. You had to have a name for the channel. And so I just came up with Rusty 78609 because that was the zip code to the Buchanan Dam Post Office where I got mail. Has it turned out like I expected? I'd say it's been about 50,000 times better. No, I mean, it's amazing. No, I enjoy it. It gives me something to do. I mean, I don't work hard at it at all, and I don't get much of a reward because, you know, you get out of things about what you put in them. SC Deer Addict, add another 10K to finish. That's on the Home Depot thing. And this one also, New Leaf, Crab's Treasure Chest, whatever that means. Scotty Thompson's got about 20 here. Cool video talk, cool comment call. I did great Thursday night in my bowling league. Had a 162, a 142, and a 126. Wound up with a 430. Not bad, Scotty. Hang in there. You know, all that copper and arm braces and knee braces and gloves and stuff starting to pay off. Anyway, Stroker Ace. How did we find time to work? Well, my story on how I found Rusty. I was planning on going camping. I was looking to see if there were any YouTube videos on Red River, New Mexico, and Rusty's video in Red River came up, so I watched it. I enjoyed the content and Rusty's life advice, and I've been listening to this wild and crazy guy ever since. I can only hope I'm doing as well as Rusty when I'm his age. Well, I hope you do too. I mean, you know, as long as we're here, we're okay. It's when we're not here that we don't know what happens. Thomas Fenton. Definitely remember shop class. Girls took home economics, or home ec, as we called it. Yeah, since I was no tool, I opted to cook with the babes. I'm told it was now called Family and Consumer Sciences. PC made its mark on that too. Oh well. Yeah, political correctness has just taken over everything. You know, we don't say anything anymore that we mean. We hit all around it. Margaret Stafford. Well, you know, in George Orwell's book, the Ministry of Peace was the where they made war. Anyway, whatever, it was crazy. Margaret Stafford, thanks for the fascinating stories. You have some interesting memories. I'm not quite as old as you, but I grew up without all the fancy stuff we have now. If you never have it, you don't miss it. That's true. I mean, if you don't know about it, you don't miss it. You know what I mean? It's when they keep rubbing it in your face, you know, with ads and stuff, that you begin to wonder if you don't need it or not. That's called marketing or advertising. And marketing is different than advertising. Integer 8 or 66, I guess, on the Home Depot thing. You think 16K is a good deal? I don't know. It says, I think I could build that in 2 weeks for about 5K. You go right ahead, my friend. You go right ahead. You know, boy, there's a lot of dreamers in the world, isn't it? You know, I could build it in 2 weeks for $5,000. What are you going to build it out of? Dirt? Jesus. Felipe Garcia says, or he left me some emojis, thank you. This is Benoit VUDI, stress-free living. Got a lot of comments on the Tiny Home Depot, so they must be promoting it again, YouTube. Anyway, Night Prowler, that's a good price for the shell. Probably another 16 to 20,000 to finish out with wiring. I don't know. It depends on how sophisticated you want to be and what you want to spend. You could get by with one plug and some electrical extension cords if you chose to. Jim Bob, if you're going to review one of these, at least know what you're talking about. He says it is composite roofing, which is completely inaccurate. That is asphalt shingles. Well, we used to call those composition shingles. But you know, this Jim Bob, why don't you go back in your closet, take your meds with you, and shut the door. You'll be okay. The world's not trying to get you, man. Jeff Stone, it would make a good cabin. It probably would. RV Living with the Geezer, check that channel out. He's an Alpine. Well, he's moving from Alpine to Fort Davis, I think. Yeah, check him out. Rusty, I eat the Oikos yogurt also. Stevia, that's it. That's the plant used to sweeten it. I can only get the small servings at Porter's Groceries in Alpine. Yeah, they don't carry many products like that in Alpine or anywhere in that area, actually. I mean, Fort Davis, they don't carry anything. Anyway, thank you. Good luck. Rosemary and Thyme. I enjoyed hearing about your childhood and first job. Do you ever show photos with your stories? I don't have a single photo of me when I was young or growing up or any of my family or any pictures at all. I burned them all. Why? I didn't want to carry that baggage with me everywhere I went. And so I decided, well, get rid of the old and open the door to the future, the new stuff. And a lot of people do. They sit and, you know, a lot of people take a lot of pictures with their phone, thousands, millions, billions, and never look at them. You know, they just take them, or they'll take a picture of the hamburger they're eating. You know, that's just not the way I grew up. But anyway, enough said. This person's name is Okie Jammer. Talk about giving out some smiles with your sanity session, stories and memories, trusting others, taking a man at his word, and shaking his hands to seal the deal was a downright sacred honor. Remember counter checks? Yeah, I do remember counter checks. You'd go in a store and they had a check. Some stores had stacks of blank checks at the checkout. If you forgot your money, you just fill that in your bank and personal information and the amount of your purchase. Yeah, that's right. We had them counter checks, sure did. Yeah, Tom Fowler, great session, Rusty. Always love hearing about the good old days. The good. We call them the good old days, but they're no different than the days right now. These are the good old days. It's just a bumper sticker thing. Good old days. But the day is whatever you make it now. But thank you, Tom. I understand what you're saying. RV Living with the Geezer says, Rusty, I also listened to Wolfman Jack. I grew up in Bernie, Texas, and the station came in good. It was XERF, a 250,000 watt station in Villa Cunha, across from Del Rio. Yeah, he was in Villa Cunha. Cal Bob 750 on a Beer 30. In 1967, Army E1 enlisted base pay was $102 a month. God, isn't that? And yeah, they took. I was married, so they took $40 a month out of that. I got a whopping $60. Yo. High Desert Barb. Love these stories, Rusty. I so remember my transistor radio and the rabbit ears on TV. Keep those stories coming. Yeah, the rabbit ears. Yeah, you can still use those today. There's nothing wrong with them. And yeah, you can use all kind of stuff. But yeah, no, it was we take the technology we have now for granted. But it's amazing to me. I like it. I don't have any complaints. This is MRKSTS1. This is on the Tiny Home Depot. I've seen these and thought about temporary housing. A person could live in it while having a typical house built, then use it as a shed or man cave after. Yeah, just be creative. You don't have to do anything. This person, no more names, says no bathroom on the tiny home. Well, there's not one there yet. You can put one if you want one. This is MJ on the Home Depot home. If you should purchase it, my advice would be to seal and paint it immediately. My neighbor has a tough shed and it only took a few years to rot, for rot to become noticeable. Well, yeah, do what you got to do, man. This is JD 1989 on the tiny home. I love the idea of a bare bones house like this to design yourself. I just wonder how difficult and expensive it is to get it wired and plumbed to function as a typical house. Well, it depends. You could double it and you'd be close. Eddie B, too bad people aren't smart enough and have the balls to build something better than this for half the price. Well, you say that, folks, but I got to tell you, having a prefab home where it's just cut to fit, all the parts are cut, they haul it out to the site and assemble it. You try doing that from scratch, and you're going to find out it's not as easy as you thought it was. That's my opinion. Chevy 500L, that's too bad. That's too good for a mother-in-law. I'd prefer mine to have a 6x9 cell. W. Thurman on Beer 30. Have a happy Beer 30, everyone. Have a great weekend, Rusty. Yeah, you too. All of you, actually. And then back to the Home Depot tiny home. A lot of comments on that. Peter Kavanaugh, buy a government bond. What's that got to do with a tiny home? I don't know. It says, and the travel is safe. Your purchase is like better value to the community, QORKERS. I guess that's supposed to be workers. Well, this person can't spell. Never mind. Thank you, Peter. Brilliant statement. A cup of Joe. Where would you put your bathroom, hot water heater, and air conditioner? No, not where would I put it, a cup of Joe. Where would you put it? You see what I mean? You got to think for yourself. And that's hard to do for some people, but you have to do it yourself. See, isn't that different? Curtis Drew 1, okay, on the tiny home. Says, back in the 80s, I bought one of these sheds to put in our backyard. The only difference was I put on double doors on the entrance. I insulated it and wired it with an electric power. Even ran a window air conditioner with heater, satellite TV, etc. I plumbed in the water. Apparently he just made him a tiny home. Anyway, says, I think I paid $4,300 for mine. Well, Curtis, you did good, boy. See there, you're thinking out of the box. Robert Sellers, enjoying a beer with you, sir. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Burns your tummy, don't you know? Yeah, thank you. This is on How Did We Find Time for Work? Sashi Smith. Nice drive and share. I think about two. How did I manage to work? Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I mean, I I can't see me working 8 hours a day, and I couldn't fit it in. Lucy Foster says Prost on Beer 30. That's a German way of saying cheers. It's Prost. Smooth Vey or VE. Wow, this is perfect for me. Where was this deal when I was looking? Well, you weren't looking in the right place. Ben Sami, it is lovely on the tiny home. See, there's some people that are thinking out of the box. Henri Codger on Beer 30. Good times, yeah. Good times, yeah, I guess I could say that. The old times were good times. Dana Diggle, Sanity Session. Better than any Disney special. I don't know. I'm just having fun, guys. Don't take these videos too seriously, because I don't. This is on the tiny home. Michael W. Urban Sr. Well, why don't you put your whole name in there, Michael W. Urban Sr.? Well, I have been a builder for years. They are 2x3 wall framing and ceiling joists, or some kind of 1x8. He said, but since I have built home, I say this is a pretty good price. Yeah, and I agree with you. Thank you, Michael. Jason's Texas Adventures. Watching Rusty 78609 on a Friday night while having a pizza 30 to me is muy bueno. Well, good for you, man. Good. Wayman Samang, beer and bacon. How did we work? I've had the same idea many times. Sheesh, I don't think I could do it in today's world, LOL. I know I couldn't. No. Beauregard Rippey, Range Rover. Yeah, well, that's a good old car. A little expensive for old Dad. Leadville Gold on the How Do We Find Time for Work? Maybe for Beer 30 we should just cruise in the golf cart with a couple of cold ones. Trails only, of course. Well, we'll see. I'll probably do that, you know. Go out on some of these old trails out here and have a beer or two in the near future. Why? Because it's just easy to do. You know, I'm right here by the trail, so why not? Kentucky King on the tiny home. I've always wanted to buy a piece of land covered with oak and pine, a portable sawmill, and build myself one similar to this. I just want something small and private. You know, Kentucky King, that's what everybody wants. But not many people do it. Why? Because they run into too many hurdles and they quit. You know, quitters never achieve what they want to achieve. You know, if you start in a direction and the first thing you do is hit an obstacle and then you quit, that's the end of the trip. That's it. So, you know, you got to keep adapting or adjusting until you get it done. This person's name is Rip Snorton. Nice stories. I'm an old guy now at 67, but when I was a young working guy, I always gravitated towards the old dudes. I worked in machine shops, and most of the old guys were vets and told stories about the big one a lot. Most young guys didn't care what us old. Most young guys don't care what us old guy did anymore. They're missing out. Well, they're not missing out. They're just doing themselves, man. That's life. You know, they don't care. I don't think. I don't have people asking me a lot of questions about the good old days, particularly my family or kids. They don't ask ever. Never. Deb B, boys will be boys. Poor fish and armadillos. Today you would be on camera at the dam. What does that mean, Deb? Never mind. That's okay. Back on your meds. Boondocking with Dennis. Check his channel out. He lives in a pickup truck with a camper top along the Gulf Coast of Texas. Says Beer 30 is my favorite time of the day. Mine too. I mean, my day is pretty well predictable. I like it that way. We work real hard to make things predictable. That's the way we are. But, you know, I get up in the morning, I do this, have breakfast, and then shortly after that I do my stretches and take a walk for about an hour. And then later on, now that I've got the golf cart, I'll take a drive down to the post office in the golf cart, check my mail, may do a video on the way, and then come back in an hour or two and get ready for lunch. And then I'll fix me a sandwich or something light for lunch and then I take another short walk, and then get the laptop out and check out the comments and stuff for about 30 minutes or so. And then I read for a while, and then after that I may take another golf cart ride or short walk. Charlie Garcia is going to feed Gonzalez, rather. I'm sorry. Charlie Gonzalez wants to feed Matilda. He left a really crappy comment on the tiny Home Depot. I mean, I can't imagine why somebody get ticked off on that one. But again, he's gone forever. Charlie Gonzalez. Matilda, this is Charlie Gonzalez. He's fixing to feed you you like waffles, as I recall. Waffles with strawberry syrup, a brand of those little patties of sausage, and you like hash browns? She likes hash browns. Thank you, Charlie, because you're gone forever. He says 16,000, get the F out of here, and then blah, blah, blah. That's enough of that. Bye, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie, baby. Thank you, Charlie. Anyway, enough said. Moving along here. Boondocking with Dennis Beer. Oh, we already read that. We'll do two more and then shut her down here. Brian Barb might have been best Beer 30 stories ever. Especially enjoyed the oil field musings. Did some time there myself. Comments on chilling your drinks in the ice down water can definitely brought back memories. Nothing tasted better than a glass bottle of Coke that had been in the ice water all morning on a hot afternoon. Lunch from your dinner bucket. No, I hear you. Tasted pretty good too. Keep the stories coming. Yeah, I hear you, Brian. Been there, done that, babe. Alvin Massot, fantastic Beer 30 Friday. Enjoy your wine and book tonight. I did. Thank you very much. This is Mike Mitchell. Last one. Great video, Rusty. Have a good weekend. You too, and all of you. With that in mind, thumbs up. Carpe diem. Adios. Carpe diem means seize the day in Latin. Carpe diem. Adios. Bye-bye. Buy anything you want anytime. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Why? Because it doesn't cost you 1 penny. Just click on the link, go to Amazon, buy whatever you choose, okay? And then what else? Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day won't hurt you. It's good for you. It'll help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and it'll also help you lose weight because you'll be full of water, and you will not want to eat so much, as in snack. You know what I mean? And then take deep breaths. Breathe in really deep. Hold it for a few seconds and then breathe out slowly. Why? Because that relieves stress, and relieving stress does what? Lowers your blood pressure. Is that good for you? Yes. Do it several times a day. And then what else? Stretch, stretch, stretch. Swivel, swivel, swivel. Walk, walk, walk. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Exercise your body once or twice a day, every single day. Why? Because you'll feel better immediately, and you may live longer, healthier because of that one thing. And then what else? Stand guard at the door of your mind. Do not let negative Nancy or negative Ned get inside of your head. This is your head, your brain, your frontal lobes, your consciousness. All those little neurons in there are forming neural links, which is every single thought you have. Common sense says add good ingredients. Ta-da! You know what I mean. Accentuate the positive. You know what I mean. Don't watch the news. Don't watch the news. It's all negative. Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, enjoy your life one day or one moment at a time. At ease, carry on, adios, bye-bye, hasta luego, vaya con Dios, aloha, until the noon video, which will be probably a cart, riding in the golf cart in the Yamasita. Adios, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.